All right, y'all. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J is live. We are in the building. Another dope show that we're going to have to give you tonight. We look forward to doing it. We're going to open it up with a legend. We got legendary brother Umar bin Hassan of the Last Poets. If you want to know who inspired your favorite conscious rapper, you need to be listening to Ain't No Half Stepping with Marcus J right now. And then, of course, we know about the devastation that Hurricane Matthew did here in the United States, but we also know that it did a lot of damage in the Caribbean. We're going to speak with our sister, Joelle Alert. We had her on a few months ago when we talked about the institution Mix Mahanaim in Grand Saline, Haiti. And so she's going to join us to talk about how we can help the people in Haiti recover from the destruction of Hurricane Matthew. And then, of course, the usual suspects are going to be talking about the usual topics. We got to talk about the debate and whatever else we get into. Ain't no half step on Marcus J. It's live. It's right now.
Yeah. It's about that time. It's about that time to get.
Button your lip, open your ears, strap on your thinking cap. Socially conscious talk that's entertaining with a dash of humor and the top sports stories of the week. It's time for Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J.
Sellers has Jordan. Jordan with 2 seconds to go. Puts it up and scores at the buzzer. Michael Jordan has won it for Chicago. Manning lobs it. Burris alone. Touchdown, New York.
Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. He hits one deep to right center. That ball is out of here. The Yankees win the pennant.
If they lying, then they must be half stepping. Ain't no half stepping on Marcus J is live. We are in the building. Be down with us tonight. 804-402-2893. Be part of the flagship show. Heard live from the den of Legacy Internet Radio. Thank y'all to everybody that's rocking with us tonight. We appreciate those folks that are listening to the show in our capital city right here in Richmond, Virginia. Shout out to my family back in Jersey City. We know that y'all are checking us out as well. We're thanking those folks that are listening to us right now on TuneIn, on Streamer, those folks that are listening to the replays right now on iTunes as well as on YouTube. Y'all rock with us. We are going to roll with y'all. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J, live from the den, Legacy Internet Radio. Definitely happy and honored to bring to you guys our guest here in this next segment. This brother is a member of the Last Poets. We are happy and honored to have our brother Umar bin Hassan on the live line with us. What's going on, brother Hassan?
Oh man, fine. I'm glad that you got back in touch with me today, so we can do something and bring something to the public that's good and decent. So I appreciate that, brother. Thank you.
Absolutely, brother. And I appreciate you. You and I have been kind of running back and forth, playing a little phone tag, getting this thing set up. And so what I want to do is I want to introduce you to the Ain't No Half Stepping with Marcus J listeners. And so I got a basic set of, conversation points that I want to hit you with. And the first thing, we're going to go back to the beginning. Tell us where you were born, brother.
Where I was born or when I was born?
Well, how about you do both, if you don't mind, and when?
Okay, I was born in Akron, Ohio.
Okay.
October the 30th, 1948.
Okay.
I'm a Scorpio. My birthday's coming up at the end of this month.
Yes, sir.
As a matter of fact. Yeah, so I'm glad that I'm still here at 68, man, because I know a whole lot of good ones ain't here. So I'm blessed. I'm grateful, brother. Trust me.
Absolutely.
Trust me.
Absolutely. Akron, Ohio. So, 1948. I'm guessing you've been doing poetry for a while. How long you been doing it?
Well, since I was a little boy, man. I used to shine shoes in the street when I was 8, 9, 10 years old. And there was this other brother who was my competitor, and he shined shoes too. But not only did he shine shoes, but he sold the Jet magazines and the black community, black newspaper. So I had to really hustle, man, because he came on the set and was taking my customers. So I had to find a gimmick You understand? To try to, get some of my customers back. So I just started putting little rhymes together like, shoe shine, can't be beat. Shoe shine, give your soul a treat. Or, I popped that rag, I clicked that brush, a dime and a nickel ain't too much. And so everybody said, whoa, homeboy got a little something with him, And to be honest, the first ones to really get onto it, hook onto it with the sisters in the street, the barmaids and some of the prostitutes. They said, this little boy got some money. He can rap, he can room. Because, women like expressive men. So they saw me, trying to express myself in order to get some money. And then they would, nurse their boyfriends or get on their husbands and let him shine the shoes. He never shoes. He's cool. He got some way. So that's how I started. And, then in junior high school, I'd be playing the dozen against some of my compatriots and, people in my neighborhood. Then in senior high school, I wrote a big play about all of my teachers and the principal and the vice principal I didn't like. And so one thing became another. So that's how I started writing poetry. Now, do you want to know how I became a last poet?
Yeah, let's before we come to that, I want to delve into this shoe shine thing a little bit more. I'm gonna come back to the last poet thing, but
right.
You said going to junior high and high, so you were a young blood out there doing this, rhyming and attracting the ladies.
From 15 years old, man, I was in the street shining shoes. I was dealing with all kinds of, people and players and instigators and con artists. But,
right.
I was on the game. I was supposed to be, the next so-and-so this and next so-and-so that. But I just decided to do some poetry instead of hanging out on the streets, man.
Right.
But, and the thing was that the reason I was out there because sometimes I had to go out and help out with the family,
right.
Budget because, until the welfare checks that we was getting, everything lasts 2 weeks, and then that government food, that lasted about 3 or 4 days because there was 7 brothers and sisters. So, and my father, he was a musician, man. Someone was a very frustrated, talented musician. He was going through a lot of mental problems at that time with his mother and my mother and us. So I had to, take up the rear,
right.
Get out there and hustle in the streets.
Right.
So that became my job, man, to try to supplement all of that we didn't have, man.
So was this...
keep a little big, man. Sometimes I had to load on my little soul, but I trudged through it, man. I trudged through it and had to do it,
Right. No, I can dig it. This is you're still in Akron at this point, is that right?
Yeah, I'm still in Akron, Ohio. Yeah, I'm living in the project.
So during
the bottom, as they call
you're still in Akron.
We
so
live in the bottom. It's called Elizabeth Park Homes,
It sounded to me like you were one of the first battle rappers. So now I want you to talk to me about when and how did you join the Last Poets?
Well, it was in the spring of 1968, and I came out of my hustling thing into this. I'm a black nationalist now. I'm into the black thing.
Right.
I don't give up my Beaver Skins and my Stacey Adams and my Hickey Freemans and Brook Brothers Houston. So, I'm changed now to the Kofi and the Dashigis and all that. So, people who knew me, there was this art festival at Antioch College in Yellow Springs, Ohio, in the spring of 1968, the late spring. So, I'm going down, and so people put me at the head of, security, because people knew I would take care of business if somebody got stupid. So here I am at the security desk, and I'm, checking it about. This one brother came in by the name of Rabbi O'Doon, who was with the original group, was also my partner now. We go through all over the world and back and forth, California, working with now. He came up to the desk and said, well, now, he had this deep voice. I'm Rabbi O'Doon, man. I'm one of the last poets. I'm from New York. I don't have to check in. I said, wait a minute, brother. You got to check in here because, we trying to protect the artists and the women and children from anybody, with bad and stupid. Well, now, I'm one of the last poets. I'm from New York, man. I'm telling you, I'm checking in. So at that time, Marcus, under my, my camouflage jacket, I had a 45 and 38. Understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So I just pulled up my jacket and said, listen, brother, you check in or you check out. And so he saw the pistol right away. We let him. We rubbed him down and he went on in. But then when he got to his bailiwick on stage, he said, who's that crazy motherfucker out there? At this dance. He's going to kill all of us. He's going to kill white people. So I said, okay. Well, homeboy got his little thing. But then when him, Guyland Kane, and Felipe Luciano, and the drummer, Elijah got to do anything with the poetry, it messed me up, man. I had never seen nobody do poetry with drums like that. And
right.
Boom. So after the show, me and him, we got together, we talked. And we said, we made up, boom, boom, grease each other's, egos and stuff. So I told him, man, I said, I want to do what y'all do, man. I want to do something like that. He said, okay, if you decide to come to New York, come up to our loft. They had a loft, a cultural loft called the East Winds on 125th Street between 5th and 6th Avenue. Right. So I said, okay, man, I'm coming up. But before I got up there, I had to go back to my hometown. And we went through a little riot because, we got tired of police brutality, big time people beating down our uncles and our grandfathers and us too. So it was somewhat, I don't know how it became known that I was one of the instigators. And so the Akron Police Department sent a letter of recruitment to my house. My mother said, what's this? Come on, you're one of the biggest nemesis, one of the biggest antagonists, and I didn't want to get you down to the police academy. And at that time, I knew what was happening in 1968 in Akron, Ohio. If they couldn't shut you up, they set you up. So someone said, I got to get out of here.
Right.
I got to get out of here. But at that time, I got fired from my job with Firestone Tire Butler, and all my hustling, I gave up that to become a nationalist. I had no money, you understand, Marcus? I had a penny in my pocket. So how am I get out of here? And I had to get out of here, too. So I found my sister's record player. Remember those record players? You put the little small records, they drop one after another?
Yes.
You ever seen one of them? Hello?
No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Uncle said, I pound her record player the next day, and I got $25 for it. Next day, I was on the Greyhound bus going to New York. And at that time, it was just $15 to get to New York from Akron, Ohio. You made a stop in Pittsburgh, and you got your little something to eat, and then you get on to New York. So when I paid the other little $9 at the Pittsburgh bus stop to eat. Well, that's New York. I landed at Port Authority at 42nd Street, 8th Avenue, with 22 cents in my pocket and a pair of jeans and a couple of poems in a brown bag. Here I come, John. I'm coming to be the last poet, So I made it up to the East Wind. The poets had their loft, and June remembered me. So he hooked me up at this dormitory, Sikh dormitory for students at City College, for black students, minority students who couldn't get into the dorms and have the money to get into the dorms at City College. So they had this hotel down there for the minority students who could afford it. They had rooms and stuff, and they was part of the, City University of New York. So I got hooked up there, and I had to sneak in now first. And after a while, some brothers said, come on, man, we know you. Don't bother about nothing. Come on in, stay where you stand. And I was staying with this other brother in this place at one time. So I knew I'd come to be a last port, and that's what I came to New York for. But I know the opportunity was going to come as fast as it did. So the week later, Abby O'Doon and Elijah came down to do a show for the students. Now, Garland Kane had left, Felipe Luciano had left, and David Nelson had left. So it was just Abby O'Doon and Elijah, the Cougar player. So Doon said, listen, everybody, there's a brother here from Ohio, and I'm going to let y'all decide whether he becomes our last poet or not. And so at that time I had 3 poems. I know I had one was called Nigger Town and one was called MF. MF, what I'm talking about, yeah.
Absolutely.
And I forget the other one. So, I did the MF poem, but that bravado, Malcolm was an MF so-and-so, and Martin was a so-and-so MF, and, Marcus Garvey was a so-and-so MF, and everybody said, I could see in their face they were saying, he's a little rough, he's a little cruel, but we can feel his passion and his desire to make him the last poet. So that's how I became the last poet. But Doon told me after the gig, Umar, you ain't never doing an MF poem again. And I haven't done it for something. I can't even remember now, Marcus, but that's how I became the last poet.
I can dig it. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J, live from the den of Legacy Internet Radio. We're speaking with our brother Umar Ben Hassan of the Last Poets, and we're getting a history lesson of the Last Poets, and we're learning about Brother Hassan's trek through the early days, kind of moving us as we progress through his history here. Tell us about the power of the poetry and where it's taken you, like beyond, Akron and New York. Tell us where you've been, what you've seen.
Oh, brother, we've been all over the world, man. We've been all over the world. I mean, I think about 3 years ago, really blessed and really blew my mind when the people in New York who be booking us, they said, y'all going to, what was this city? It was in Serbia. I can't remember, but this is where these people were fighting with each other. The Serbians and and the Muslims, they were fighting in the street against each other, killing each other. So I'm saying, well, with Croatia, we went to Croatia. That's where Croatia, Mark. You know, it used to be the old country of Hungary, but they broke up into different sections, the Serbians, the Croatians. So they were fighting each other, killing each other. So I'm saying, what are we going to be doing in Croatia? What do the Croatians know about the last poet? Man, we got there, and people had that first album, the blue and yellow album, and wanted us to sign. I couldn't believe it, man. I just said, whoa, the influence that we have had, not just in America, but all over the world. And I guess that's when I really began to understand how much influence and appreciation we've had throughout the world. Because I know when we was 19 and 20, and that first album came out, man, things like Niggas Scared Revolution, Jones coming down, brothers was coming back from, Vietnam, telling me, y'all saved my life, man. Y'all saved my life. Y'all saved our lives. Yeah, man, you stopped me from doing drugs. That poem, Jones coming down. And you're 19 and 20, you be saying, yeah, right, man. I'm blowing smoke up my studio. Right? You okay? But then, man, we got to travel this second time around, going all over Europe and Africa and Asia. I didn't know. Man, one of the greatest things that happened to us when we was in South Africa about 10 years ago, and some of those freedom fighters told us that we inspired the revolution, man. That we inspired the revolution. As a matter of fact, at the time, if you got caught with the last Poets album in South Africa, you went to jail. And so one of the brothers who didn't want to go through that forgiveness thing, when South Africa said, okay, we're going to forgive you Afrikaners for killing us and beating us and raping us. Well, these brothers, some of these brothers didn't want to go through that. Just like, they didn't want to go through it, so they stayed out of the country. But this one brother called us from Switzerland and told us, man, thank you, brother, thank you. Y'all inspired our revolution. Y'all made us want to get up and do some things like y'all were doing in America. So, because this brother Stephen Biko, you ever heard of him? South African brother?
Absolutely. I know who.
Yeah, well, there was this group of poets going around in South Africa called the Dashiki Poets, and they were doing a lot of our poetry, but then they started doing a lot of their poetry. And Stephen Biko got a hold of them and said, listen, man, come on, y'all be part of my crew. Let's roll. Let's get something done. So the Dashiki Poets became part of Stephen Biko's crew. And they thinking, no, man, South Africa was free. That really blew my mind for people to tell us how much we influenced and help set forth their freedom and their independence, man. I couldn't believe that, man. But then, that's what people be telling me. See, I'm going to tell you something, because I've been in this thing doing this class for 7 years. A lot of people, they say, well, man, you don't act like you're a celebrity. You don't act like, man, you don't know who you are. I know who I am, but I ain't into all that. Just like my partner Dylan. Now, he puts all the awards and, things on the wall. He got a wall. I'm like, oh, my stuff, I just put it in cases because, okay, I'm doing it. I know I'm doing it, but it doesn't overwhelm me. It doesn't make me better than anybody else. I just do it because I love doing it, man.
Right. That's your calling. That's your calling.
Yeah, you're right about that. I've come to accept that too, Mark, because it is my calling.
Absolutely.
So I don't want to make it too flamboyant or look too glamorous because it's just what I'm supposed to be doing. That's all.
Right. And have Steppin with Marcus J live from the Den of Legacy Internet Radio. We're speaking with our brother Umar bin Hassan of the Last Poets, and we're talking to him about. I guess my next thing that I want to know about is what you got going on that's coming up. You got a new project coming up?
Well, I'm questioning, Brother Lafayette Jamison from Souls Synthesis. I don't know how to say that name. His record company, Souls. And he had heard, he called us and he wanted us to do some poetry for him. So he sent us some beats. And my partner, they didn't really like the beats, but I kept listening to him, and he kept sending me some more beats. So we got together and we did this thing called Bum Lunch. It's about young brothers in the streets, drug dealers, whatever, young brothers just trying to make that money and just trying to live this, trying to get it done in America. And he liked it, so he found some young people who put a beat behind it. And see, they put a wonderful beat behind it, and so I liked it, and we put it out there, and now we're trying to just get it out there. We got it out there now. It's doing pretty good. But he's in the process now trying to make this video or do this video so we can get some more visibility.
Right. But
that's what. And it's a joy working with these young kids because I always wanted to work with some of these kids who was into the beats because I don't want everything that when rap came out, everybody was down on it and this, that. I don't like what they stand, but it was the beats. I always liked the beats because that was Africa. The kids still had that part of it together, the African thing, that beats, because, that's the heartbeat of the world as far as music is concerned.
Right.
As far as life is concerned, as far as humanity is concerned, black people are the heartbeat of the world. No matter how much we've been beaten down or trodden on, we're still the heartbeat of humanity, because if we weren't the human beings that we were in this country would have been burnt down a long time ago, man.
Right. No,
but so I like that beat, and I like the beat that these young kids put down. So, voila, here I am.
Right.
Working with
What do you say to people who say to you, people like you, Gil Scott Heron, and your whole crew, you guys inspired an entire subgenre in hip hop. When you think of people like KRS One and Chuck D and Black Thought and Common and cats like that.
I know all these brothers. I've worked with all these brothers, and they're some very good young men. I'm proud to have been associated with them. I'm proud to, have them show me the respect that they thought as, they should be as the older and the elder. And my thing is, man, but hip-hop or the last poets ain't nothing new. I mean, we stand on the shoulders, man, of people in slavery. The brothers on the prison farms will be singing the songs, and it's black and striped shirts. On the people in the slave fields will be singing the songs, and or some of the old rappers on the radio shows back in the 50s, 60s who were rapping and saying like Jocko in Philadelphia. See, we ain't nothing new, man. We just part of the African oral tradition, and all of us are part of the African. We're just a branch of the African oral tradition. We're a branch. Hip hop is a branch. Jazz is a bop. Swing is a bop. Rock and roll is a branch. So we're just part of that tree, man. That's all.
Yeah.
The African oral tradition,
Yeah. No,
all the different branches. So ain't nothing new. We wasn't really nothing, because we know that after us there was going to be something else coming, because, we just keep the progression going, just like hip-hop has been trying to keep the progression going. So we all the same, man. We all may not agree or like each other what each other done, but we're all part of that African oral tradition. We're all from that same tree, man.
Right. Well, I want to backtrack a little bit before we close out, because I want, first of all, I get such a kick out of talking to an elder. So first of all, let me just thank you for, taking the time to rap to us here on Legacy Internet Radio and Ain't No Half Step with Marcus J. Before, if I haven't already done that, I want to make sure I would be remiss if I didn't make it plain that I'm
It's been my pleasure, man. It's been my pleasure. And like I said, if we can help that project we're looking on, that helps me. But listen, you say no half-stepping, Marcus. What? I like that. What's the radio call? No half-stepping what?
Ain't no half-stepping with Marcus J. That's me.
Okay, I hear that. Because we can't, brother. We got to be four-stepping, doing the right stepping in the right rhythm and the right tune and work together. So I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that.
No, absolutely. Last thing I want to kind of get into is you mentioned earlier that you in the late 60s you were part of the Black Revolution, and that is something that's very, very close to me because of my age. I'm 42 years old, and so I'm part of the children of that generation, and I never got an opportunity to live it. And so I'm always fascinated when I have an opportunity to speak with someone who was part of that generation. Having said that, what do you see as the main difference between young brothers in 1966 and young brothers in 2016? We were talking 50-year difference.
Well, we had a direction, Marcus. We had something we was on. We was trying to become independent, and we was trying to liberate black people from the hostility and the repression of slavery and racism in America. We had a direction, man. So we all moved in the same direction. We may not have liked these other pastors, may have liked the Republic of Africa, may have liked the Nation of Islam, but we all know we had to be free. We all know we had to get the yoke up off our backs, man. And we all know we had to be independent of those who wanted us to be dependent on them. So that's the difference. We had a sense of direction. See, this generation is seem to be off on themselves. I'm over here and I'm over here, and I'm so-and-so, I'm so-and-so. You mess with my crew, you don't fuck with my crew, and you don't mess with my music, you don't fuck with my music. So it's just that no direction and that sense of brotherhood or whatever that we had that y'all seem to take for granted. That's all, man. Just a sense of direction. We have more of a sense of this. And plus, we read a lot. See, we had to read too, Marcus. We had to read like books like, Mao Zedong, and we read James Baldwin, and of course we read Amir Baraka with his poetry, and we read some of the old Richard Wright. We read about our history. We read about things that we had been through and that had brought us through. So it's it's a matter of difference. I'm not saying that y'all can't do that, because evidently I'm saying that you do that,
Right.
and you're trying to get some of your other partners to understand. It's about knowing where we came from, how we got here, and where we want to go, man.
Right. I got you. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. live from the Den, Legacy Internet Radio. Brother Umar bin Hassan, I really, really thank you for taking the time to share your life, your wisdom, your story. I look forward to any opportunity that we have here at Legacy Internet Radio to help promote some of the things that you're doing with the new project called Bum Rush. I look forward to assisting with that, and of course I'll be in contact, with your partner on making sure that we have the appropriate information to help do that. Any final words? Anything you want to close with before I let you go?
No, I wish you the best. I wish you the best, man. Take care of yourself, and keep yourself strong and keep yourself aware, and just be at the top of your game, man. Move forward. Keep moving forward. Don't go backward. Keep going forward, because evidently you're doing. The fact that you have been, just cool and and appreciative of me. I see that you got some stuff with you. You can take it forward, man, and try to find the right people to go forward with you.
Wow.
You stay away from the knuckleheads, man, because there's a lot of them out there.
Yeah, I got you.
But listen, man, it's been a pleasure, man. I'm glad we got to do this, because I kind of feel bad. I'm running the other day, so I'm glad I got to be part of your idea and your suggestions, your ideas for those young people, man. And I want to thank you very much for that.
I thank you as well. Hold the line for me for just a moment. And have Steppin with Marcus J. live from the Den, Legacy Internet Radio. We're speaking with Brother Umar bin Hassan of the Last Poets, who's got the new project Bum Rush that's coming out here real soon. We're going to take another break. When we come back, we've got more of the show. And Steppin with Marcus J. live from the Den, Legacy Internet Radio. Y'all rock with us, and we're going to roll with y'all. Be back in a few.
Hey, this is Warren Ballantyne, the number one truth writer in America, and I'm listening to my man, my brother, Marcus J. right here on Legacy